When you make a mistake, how to handle situations when you accidentally double book, you forget to put one appointment in the schedule, and then you schedule another one on top of that's in the calendar, or when you grab the wrong blade and you go a little bit shorter or a lot shorter than when you wanted, or you accidentally quick a dog. It happens, believe me. Whatever you are doing, whatever your profession is, there's going to be mistakes. And there is day and night difference in how you set up your business. So whether mistakes be really mistakes, like very rare occasions, like once or twice a year, and the size of that mistake will not be huge. Like, for example, if you quick a dog, then it's not going to be like blood all over, but it's going to be like a tiny drop or less. And a lot depends on how you set up your business. So doing a solo grooming business is a win already because it's less distractions, less wiggly doggies, so less chance to make an error that will result in hurting the dog or yourself. But still, there are situations, again, when they happen, you double book, grab the wrong blade, or hurt the dog. How do you go about this? First thing is you need to get an experience for the client that they almost wish they did a mistake the next time around. Now, I know it's a little bit wild to say this, especially when you did not get their desired haircut or you hurt the dog one way or another. But you still can get them the experience that they will likely feel okay with this, whatever that might be. For example, let's go through these three examples. The first one is when you accidentally double book. The way I go about this is generally whoever comes first and is already here is likely the one who's going to stay. So for the other person who I accidentally double booked the appointment, for the other person, I offer a completely free appointment scheduled at another time. So they need to go home and come back at another time. Now, this generally helps them get over the disappointment that I caused for them. Unless the situation is something like this, like one of the appointments really need the haircut done today because like they are going for a vacation and the doggy needs a haircut because they're going to get dog boarded. So in that situation, even the first person was here sooner, then I offer them the free appointment and I tell them like, hey, this is the situation. Transparency. Again, tell them like, I accidentally double booked. I'm sorry. And I need to find a solution. This guy needs to go. They will travel. They need an appointment. Would it be okay with you if I gave you the appointment totally free, but you would need to come back at another time? Now you can top this off. If you want to go super, super kind, you can add another face fit fanny for free because they're going to have to travel again, travel fee, whatnot. So, and the inconveniences of not getting their doggy groomed when you said you will. So this definitely helps. And generally speaking, a free appointment, taking responsibility for my mistake solves the issue. And clients are okay with that. And that's generally my suggestion for situations like this. When you grab the wrong blade, again, depending on the client, but generally I like to be very generous because they asked for something. I made a mistake. So if I say if the client wants an inch and I went 1/4 inch, which is pretty much impossible unless I make a ginormous mistake, but it can happen that you forget to put on the snap-on comb and you grab the wrong blade, whatnot. Then I would again give the appointment for free because it's not what they were looking for. The doggy did not get hurt, but still it's not the hairstyle they're looking for. And it's a disappointment for them. So again, I like to be generous and make the appointment for free for them. if I make a mistake like that. But again, with the setup, it's very, very, very rare. Throughout my career grooming here in the US for like 10 years, I made that mistake once. And since then I got two clippers. So I accidentally left the sanitary blade on a toy poodle. It was on a toy poodle. Hey, Tiny, it's okay. And it's good. And I think it was 1/2 inch on the body. It was supposed to be 1/2 inch on the body, but I forgot the sanitary trim blade on the clipper. I had one clipper back then. And I accidentally wanted to even up the thighs, and I made like that big patch on the poor soul's thigh. So I gave the appointment for free. And I learned from that. And now I have two clippers, and one is the sanitary blade solely. And the other one they are different colors. The other one is the haircut clipper. So I never make the mistake, again, crossing fingers, toes, and tails. Ever since then, I never made the mistake to go shorter than the client wanted me to. So it's nice. You can work around it with this setup. And having two clippers might sound wild, but they are not that expensive, really. They're cheaper than shears. So it's going to be fairly easy to get to. And you never have to make the mistake what I did. The third one is when you accidentally hurt a dog. One way or another, you nick a skin, clip the nail too short. Again, with the setup, you can minimize the injury beautifully, because if you're working on a less wiggly dog or a steel dog, calmly, no one is rushing you. No boss behind your back like, hey, you have to get done because there are other 8 doggies you have to work today. So it helps huge. But if you make the mistake of hurting a doggy, then again, a spa day is not supposed to end up with a bleeding dog, regardless of how much blood is there. So again, it is a free appointment, at least one. And if the dogs need stitches, covering the vet bill, another thing, because clients are not supposed to go to the vet after a haircut. So you need to take care of that. And in that situation, I would offer another, whatever appointment they had that I made an injury, I would discount to 0 the one that when I injured a dog, and then give another one completely free of the same caliber. Like if it was the works, then I would just give them another works for completely free. So they will be, and again, apologize, explain everything, transparency, critical. If or when the injury happens, you take care of the dog, clean up the wound, injury, whatever. If it's at a scale that you can handle, if not, of course, go to the vet. Keeping fingers, toes, and tails crossed. I never had to get that far, never had to go that far. It was tiny skin nicks throughout my 10 years and tiny nail nicks only. And I really hope for the same. And that's why I'm so strict with the setup, and I'm not willing to expand the business in a way that I have multiple people around, because I really, really love the low-key environment where the doggies are chill and cooperative. So this is how low you can get with a proper environment. So it's very nice. It's very safe. And it's really just accidents happening, not like it's a routine that, oh, the doggy got nicked on the nail or whatever. And, oh, bless you. And so it's much easier. It's much easier in this situation if you have the proper, more chill setup. And you can, back to the third section of this, you need transparency and brief the clients what happened. Have images. It's critical. Have images about the situation for yourself and for your client, and explain everything to the client. Whenever things happen, like you nick the doggy's nails, it's not that big of a deal from the perspective that you don't have to take the doggy to the vet. It's not uncomfortable for the dog. It is, and it will be for several hours and even days. So it's really not something that you just shake off. You really need to take care of the dog, explain everything to the owners, like they are not supposed to take the doggy to like creeks, lakes, whatever, no water time, and keep the nail clean so the doggy won't get it infected with activities like those. So you really need to detail everything and show them so they have an understanding where it is, how big, how bad that is, what they should do at home, whether they should take the dog to the vet, and things like that, so they can monitor the spot. It's it's a very nice way to go about giving them images of the spot. So with something that they can see the size and that they can monitor the area. For you, it's much easier to take an image because you have the perfect lights, you elevate the dog, so it's easier for you to get to those spots. So it's a courtesy to give the clients images of the situation so they can compare whether the spot is healing properly or not, and they can take appropriate action if needed. So that's how I like to go about whenever shit hits the fan and you make an error or an accident, and complete transparency to the clients. If you nick the doggy's nail and you clean up everything and you cover up everything and you don't tell it to a client, the doggy will show signals at home that will raise questions. And if you come out of the closet after the appointment, after the client reaches out to you, it's much more bitter to the client and to you, because you're not going to sleep well. It's going to be on your mind. You really don't want to go that route. You want transparency. When you find a doggy with mats and you tell it to the clients, it's the same caliber. You care for the dog. When you hurt the dog and you tell it to your clients that, hey, I made a mistake. This is it. Here are the details. This is what you do. This is how you monitor it. Here are the images. You care about the dog. They will sense this. They will see that you care, and there are mistakes. They make mistakes at their own profession, in their own jobs. Even at home, with their kids, with their self, with their spouses, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does things that they rather not do, or they wouldn't have done in case they knew what they since have learned. How Marshall Rosenberg puts it. That's one of my favorite quotes ever. It goes like this: I've done some things I wouldn't have done in case I knew what I since have learned. And the same applies to groomers' errors and mistakes, that you need transparency and trust even when you make a mistake, just like with your spouse or with your kids. You tell them, it's not something you hide. You tell them, hey, I did this. I wish I didn't, but these were my reasons why I did it accidentally. Sorry. And this is how I make it better for the future, so I won't make this mistake again. Just like I walk you through the clipper blade issue, like I gave a super short trim on a spot on the doggy. Like I analyzed the situation, why I did the error, and then I came up with a better way to go about things, and it worked ever since. Nails, again, if you have hard time with nails, you learn about nail trimming and nail filing and proper nail and toe and leg positioning, so you're not going to make that mistake. If the dog wiggles, you need to understand when to say no to that dog, so you're not going to hurt the dog. If the dog wiggles, you can totally send them home before attempting a nail trim, because if the dog is not standing still for paw hair trim or just handling the paws at all, then you're not going to be able to keep it still for nail trim. So you really need to learn how to say no to prevent things and understand the doggy's behavior to come up with strategies that will help you get stuff done, even if it's delayed and they need to go to a trainer to get the doggy desensitized, or work on the dog themselves if it's not that serious, like the doggy is not going after the tool or after the person, but they just pull the leg away or don't come back when called for nail trimming. And the owners feel comfortable working with their own dog. So there are loads of things that you can come up to prevent injuries, but I can tell you right now that injuries will happen, and a lot depends on the scale of this injury. A lot depends on your business setup regarding the scale of the injury. So the more precise you are setting up your business in a way that you know your boundaries and you know the doggy's body language, and you get loads of info about the dog, then you're going to be able to steer this interaction in a way that you can avoid injury. And now you know how I go about making the bitter situation a little bit sweeter, so clients will feel cared for and understood, and they feel the transparency, and they understand that you care about their dogs, even when you made an accident, and that you compensate them one way or another, or multiple ways, for the pain, discomfort, inconvenience for their experience with you. So they will understand, they will way more likely to understand, not leave a bad review, and come back to you and give you another chance. So I think if you go about this way, then you're going to do very well, and you don't have to worry about tricky situations arising, because even if you get into an accident, scheduling error or whatnot, then you're going to know how to handle it in a way that will keep your clients, and not go elsewhere.